right here, and I'll just turn around. So this is the fourth home I bought last November, and we got it, that one right there. I'll turn around here in a second. We'll drive through the park. They sold it to me for $500, the park did, and fixed it up the first time we were all into it for $6,000, and then sold it for $300 a month and $2,500 down.
The first time?
The first time. Okay. And then it was the first home that we got back about 6 months after, let me turn around right here, 6 months after we sold it, unfortunately. And then we put probably another $4,000 into it at that point, and then sold it for cash for $16,500.
So, okay, so then you do not own that one any longer?
No, we're not getting payments on that one. The new buyers own that one outright.
Right on, but you're very happy with that.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one that we've sold for a cash profit. We sold one other one for cash, but it was just to kind of get rid of it. It was one of the two unsuccessful ones of the 19.
Oh, excellent. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit later. Excellent. This is, I love this area.
Yeah.
Does it always, is it raining a lot here?
No, it's nowhere. No, it doesn't rain that much.
Okay.
It's probably average.
Okay. All day today on my ride, it was just.
Oh, yeah.
It was raining. Yes, I didn't.
Well, there's two rainbows. I'm sure you.
I know. Yes, that was so cool. I was hoping one of your homes would be like right.
Yes.
At the bottom of it. Oh yes. Okay, so this is it.
Yeah.
Nice looking single wide, number one.
Yeah, we painted it. It had this box structure over the thing for the tongue for towing it, so we put those bricks around it.
Oh, that looks nice.
We put that porch on it. We fixed up the front porch. We put trim around all the windows. It had probably half vinyl windows to begin with, but then we added vinyl windows. I think all but 2 of them are vinyl now. And then we did quite a bit of work to the inside.
Did you do anything to the central air or anything like that?
No, it already had that, so that was great. That was one of the biggest selling features. It's actually the only home we've done that has central AC. So I'm taking a slight road trip around the Great North right now, and guess who I ran into? It's Jack.
Awesome, Jack. So we are going through a couple properties now. We're going to take a tour of some properties that you've done. Excellent. This is so cool. How long until we get to the next one?
It's right up the block here. Well, there's 3 parks on this street.
Okay.
That we've been fortunate enough to fix up some homes in.
How many parks are you involved with?
I would guess 10 or 11.
Okay. And so 10 or
19 homes, 18 of which have been in parks, and probably in a total of 10 parks, 9 parks maybe.
And now you have the one on land.
Yes.
Yes. And before even mobile homes, you had some real estate experience?
A little bit. First real estate I ever did was a mobile home. I think I bought 2 mobile homes, and then we bought a investment property, a rental.
The triplex?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. And that's about 20 minutes up that way, up that side of that mountain.
Oh my God, this is gorgeous around here. Oh, cool. Here's another little park.
So this is a really nice park. This one just got sold. When I bought the home, the lot rent was $325. And after that, about a month later, a new company bought it and immediately raised it to $400 for all new residents.
But you were grandfathered in at $325.
No, well, I was, but as soon as I sold it, they had to start paying $400. So it's this one right here. Somebody just moved. Well, there's some. Actually, we better not film right here. They just moved mobile homes.
So it's that purple one. It's a single wide.
Yeah.
Nothing special to look at on the outside. What year was that one?
That was a 1975. The outside has a beautiful lawn and garden around the porch. Like there's Virginia creeper, whatever it's called, all up and down over the porch.
Did they do that?
No, we did. No, that was there when we bought it.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it had a beautiful outside. We painted it some more. We put new doors on the metal shed. We painted the top of the shed. A few other things, but mostly we just worked on the inside.
I haven't seen too many double wides around here. There's a few.
Yeah, there's some in this park, but not. Yeah, here's some.
So is 400 lot runabout average?
Yeah, I'd say if you averaged all the parks within 10 miles of the city, it'd probably be about 370.
Okay. So this company might have come in, raised it a little bit over. But
well, they raised it and they said, we're raising it to market rent, which every other park on the street, the 2 other ones that we're looking at, are both 400 or 415. So they're justified in saying that that's the market rent for sure.
Okay. This is excellent. And then you have...
yeah, we're going to see another. Down here, there's 2 homes in the park that we currently have people in making payments to us on, and then there's another one we just got back. It's only this home, well, the home I just showed you a minute ago, and this one we're going through, the only two we've ever gotten back so far.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask.
So we have a vacant one we'll go walk through.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. And then, so of all the ones of the 19 or 20 that you, was it 19 or 20?
19 so far.
Okay. And then, so you've gotten 2 of those back. What was how long did you have people in there? If you remember.
The first one 6 months, second one 3 months.
Was it good getting them out of there? Were they receptive? Did they know, like, okay, we can't pay, so...
The first one, it was just unfortunate. The gal and her boyfriend, husband, partner guy just split up, and she couldn't make the payments anymore once he moved out. And she was very professional about it. You know, she just moved out, left it clean, everything like that. It wasn't a problem. On the second one, it was just the situation you know well about already with the younger couple that was just a disaster from the beginning.
Did they drag their feet leaving?
No, well, I gave them really good cash for keys.
Okay.
So no, they moved out. They didn't quite leave it totally clean, but it went way better than I thought it would.
What were the numbers on that one? If you know off the top of your head.
That one we were into for $7,000, I believe, or $6,500, and we sold it for $3,500 down and $250 a month for 60 months.
Nice.
So that's less per month and more down than the average. And, yeah.
And then, do you mind what with the cash for keys that you?
It was the unique situation because they had put so much down. Her mom had given her the money to put down. The park was basically mandating that I evict them, and they had been late every month. They were not following the park rules, so I was very motivated to get them out of the home. So we ended up giving them $1,400 cash for keys.
Oh no, that's very decent. I mean, they were yeah. No, that's
normally I'd give like maybe $300, but in this kind of unique situation, I think it was worth it to. I don't think it would have gone smoothly for $300. They wouldn't have been motivated enough. It would have been a disaster.
But you got the home back in about the same shape.
Yeah. I'll see you in a second.
Oh, we're gonna go in that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Right now.
Okay, cool.
We'll go through the whole park. I don't know if the managers will be here. I'll even introduce you to the managers. Sweet. Potentially. I'll just tell them you're a friend of mine who also does this. So we'll drive by it. But right there, that's one.
Oh, cool.
It's the same paint job.
Now, with those first people, they were kind of boyfriend, girlfriend. Does that give you a little more hesitation on putting people in there that are boyfriend, girlfriend versus married?
It probably should, because they broke up a week after they moved in.
Both of them? Well, the first one you
moved out, yeah.
So both of these scenarios were, okay.
Yep.
As you said, it should. It might not. But
well, from now on it should. It was a good learning experience, for sure. So this is, the one we're about to drive by was my second deal that I ever did. And it had a lot of things go wrong with it. The hot water heater exploded in the middle of the night. I walked in on it at 8 p.m. in the pitch dark and and there was no light in the house, in that bedroom, so I had no idea what was going on. But it's this one down here on the left. I'll just inch down here and then back up. So it's that one right there. But they've been very good buyers. They didn't put any money down.
Oh, so people are actually in there.
Oh yeah, the tenant buyers are in there right now. Yeah, this isn't the vacant one. I'm gonna go back to. This is the second one I ever sold. That one we were into for $7,200, and we sold it for $330 a month over 6 years.
How has your mindset changed, do you think, from the first one, or no, from number 2 till right now?
That's a great question. So I'd say it's gone through various stages or iterations. When I first started doing it, I kind of thought of the whole process more like rental properties. Like, okay, I need to pick out a good one, and then I'm going to put someone in it, and it's just going to cash flow. And then I started to think about it more like flips, where okay, we're going to do a lot of work, make it as nice as we can, and try to make a big profit. And we were selling them the same ways, but I guess it was just how I thought about the process of finding them and fixing them up. Then as it continues to go on, I started to think about it more like wholesaling, where it's, okay, I'm going to find a place, I'm not going to put a lot of work into it, and I'm just going to turn around and sell it as fast as I can as a fixer-upper, give a young family, a nice opportunity. And I mean, honestly, I think it's really just a combination of all those things.
Okay, so it's on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah. Okay, so this one on the right here, there's a gal in that too, but that's number 13. That's the one we just recently sold.
What percentage are single wides versus double wides?
We've only done one double wide ever.
Just because that's just how it worked out?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, for the most part, it's a pretty expensive market. So of the ones that have been in our price range, you just pretty rarely see double wides up for sale.
That's a little narrow guy.
Yeah, that's an old one. I think that's an old 10-foot wide or 8-foot wide.
USA.
Okay, here we go.
Oh wow, that's cool. Home sweet home.
Yes. So this one and that one I just showed you were both vacant park-owned homes, and it was totally trashed when we got it. And this one, we fixed them up at the same time.
Okay.
They gave us both homes with 3 months free lot rent.
Oh, you got this from the park?
Yeah.
Okay. This one and then the one that we just passed?
Yeah, the one right down there.
Okay.
Same paint job.
And you did, what did you do to this on the outside?
We painted it. It had a horrible old deck that was falling down. We basically replaced everything but the roof.
It looks nice. Those zip ties your work?
I don't know. It might have been the buyers after we sold it.
Now,
that's one of the things now that we got it back. I'm probably going to try to improve a little bit more is the roof.
Okay.
Repaint it.
So this is the one that you got back from
The young couple.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to give them a little cash for keys. I like the fenced yard.
Yeah, and actually the park is going to move the yard over a bit, so this brand new double wide has more room. This is the park just brought this one in.
Nice. Yeah, that's a nice looking one. Was that brand new, you said?
Yes, I believe so.
Looks pretty new.
Yeah, nobody's ever lived in it. They haven't sold it yet.
Cool.
They've had it for like 8 months.
How many of your homes are three, or what percentage you think are like 3 bedrooms versus 2 bedrooms?
I'd say 50%.
Oh, okay.
But
Nice.
We don't have that much trouble selling the 2-bedroom ones.
Just because the market is so, okay.
Yeah, I mean they're closer. I don't think economically it's as good an investment for owner occupants to own a 2-bedroom as a 3-bedroom. I mean, a 2-bedroom is not going to be that much different, the lot rent versus apartment rent.
Right.
They're not going to save that much money, or if they're paying combined. Like usually we price them where, a 2-bedroom home like this, the lot rent plus payments is going to be pretty comparable to a 2-bedroom apartment.
Nice.
But I'd say the 3-bedroom ones are a great decision for families to get into, because they're going to save tons of money even while they're paying off the home. I mean, usually they're paying us, a total between lot rent and the payments on the home of $700 or $800 a month. But a 3-bedroom apartment rents for anywhere from $900 to $1,200, and a 3-bedroom home, actual like single family home would rent for anywhere from $1,400 to $2,500.
Oh, so they're getting a great value.
Oh yeah, I put that in all the Craigslist ads that just while you're paying off the home, you'll save thousands per year, and then once it's paid off, you'll save tens of thousands.
Very, very good lock boxes. You get them at Lowe's or Home Depot. This is the way to go, especially because when you open it up, there's a couple different kinds, but this kind just rotates down. So there's another kind that you take off the face, but then people could steal that with all the numbers. But this is all one unit.
Yeah, I have 6 of them going right now. Well, at different times, so I have to keep them all. The codes written down on Evernote. On my phone.
You see that? So if you want to go into Jack's houses, those are the codes.
Okay, so this one.
I have the same one for almost all of it. Sometimes it was the house number backwards. And then I switched it over to just basically the same.
It's good if it's like a system you can remember, especially for passwords and stuff. But I just do these kind of randomly.
Now, because you have 6 going, do you have, when one person calls, can you show them to multiple properties?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How many times does that happen where you sent them to the first one and then they actually bought like the second? Or
Many times. In the past, I often hadn't met them in person until we signed the papers, but that was another great learning experience on this home, because this is the couple I had only interacted with them over the phone and over email, and they seemed great. Their numbers were pretty darn good. They had good credit scores. They had the good down payment that her mom was giving her. Their stats weren't that bad. They got approved by the park. But when I met them here at the home to close on it, to fill out the paperwork, like I told you, the second they got out of the car, I knew, 100% it was not going to work out. I knew they would end up, moving out or getting evicted, and that's exactly what happened. And they weren't bad people. It was just immediately clear that they didn't have the maturity level yet to be able to handle the responsibility.
So this is nice. This is
so all this flooring is new. We do this on almost every home on these older single wides. A lot of the windows leak, so it ruins the paneling underneath them. So we get this beadboard from Lowe's. I have a commercial account set up at Lowe's, so I buy everything there. And we put it under the windows or across the whole thing. And then if we're going to paint everything white, we just paint it white along with everything else.
That's such a nice little trick.
So, and usually we stain the trim, but we try to put trim into pretty much every home. I think it's kind of the magic sauce that sort of turns it from a metal box into a home.
Awesome.
Like when we started doing
That's a really good tip.
I got a lot better reception of the homes.
Wow.
This is, I don't think my contractor stained the trim on this one, which he should have, but.
Nice
I
carpet.
should have caught. I mean, it's my fault as much as anyone's.
Yeah, you have the beadboard under all the windows. Even if the windows aren't.
Yeah, we wanted to match. So that's probably the case. Like this one was probably rotten. This one was fine. So we just put it under both of them.
Cool.
And then same thing with the ceiling. If the ceiling's kind of falling down at all, we'll put a beam across and then put another couple beams just so it looks natural.
This is really, really nice.
Then this wall was. You remember if there wasn't a wall? No, there must have been. It must have just been really trashed. So I think that's why we put up sheetrock. But this is the only sheetrock in the home right here.
You doing a lot of this work yourself?
No, I don't do any of it myself. I haul things. I like hauling heavy stuff from Lowe's to the truck, but I love physical work, but I'm not handy in the least bit, and it's not a good use of my time.
Good sized room, yes. Both of those.
Yeah.
I feel are accurate. This is excellent. Have you any words of wisdom for hiring out people? Do you have to go
For hiring
through
contractors?
or hiring contractors? Yeah, handyman?
Well, know what you want. Do you want to hire an unlicensed handyman for cheap? Do you want to hire someone who's licensed? And then interview as many people as possible, for sure.
And you have now, I mean, you're doing things, it's been kind of a progression.
Well, when I was first started, I was just totally ignorant of the rules and regulations.
Okay.
And as soon as I basically learned them, which was pretty much right at the beginning, I made sure to only hire licensed guys. And in the state I'm in, you have to, if you're going to do any work yourself, you have to have your contractor's license. So I'm a licensed contractor now. I got my mobile home dealer's license. So I'm 100%.
When did you decide that you wanted to be a real estate investor out of curiosity? It's not something I usually ask, but
No, I
always weren't didn't want to be an employee or.
Well, when I was a teenager, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
Oh, cool.
I always had an entrepreneurial bent, and I always knew I wanted to start my own business, but I didn't. And from the time I read Rich Dad Poor Dad as a teenager, I knew that was my goal, but I went probably over 10 years. I was just pretty much waiting for maturing certainly, but also, in the latter years looking for the right opportunity.
Done, you've now planted your flags in all of these parks. I'm so glad. Normally, with all the homes that you have, you might just be in like 4 or 5 parks. I'm so glad that you're in all these parks because the park managers know you. I'm assuming that they like you.
Hopefully.
You pay on time. Yeah.
There's definitely, I think, like you say on your website, the park managers are just like any other people. I've certainly, met ones who, I didn't get off on a good foot with and stuff like that, but I think that's always going to be the case. You take 30 or 50 parks, there's going to be ones that are kind of nasty and unfriendly. There's going to be ones that are great, and it's just going to, depend.
Awesome. What year is this?
This is 78.
Yeah.
This is not one of our nicer ones at all. This is pretty, I'd say this is definitely below kind of our standard.
It's still very functional. I mean, everything works.
Well, honestly, I don't know. I like fixing them up pretty nice. I'm actually thinking about painting everything white. I even contemplated putting in a new sink and a new countertop, but it's I'm aware that financially that's not always gonna work out or be the best decision. But I don't know. I just for whatever reason I like fixing them up relatively decent. I probably even put more into them now than I did at the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yep. I feel like a lot of the park managers especially really focus on how nice the park is and take a lot of pride in it. And by fixing the homes up just a little bit more, I think it earns me that much more kind of respect, loyalty, legitimacy, social proof with the park managers. So I think it helps out in that regard, and I think it just gets slightly better buyers in and everything. But,
definitely with the buyers.
But it all depends. I mean, I think, like I was saying earlier, I kind of went through all those, progressions where I was kind of thinking of it like a rental or like a SFR fix and flip or like a wholesale. But I think, what I'd say I learned through it is that, it can be any of those things. It just kind of depends on the unique circumstances of each deal and of each buyer and kind of how you're going to serve that buyer or that park or whatever.
Were you surprised at what buyers look for?
I'd say as a guy, I didn't think of a lot of it that, the moms or the women would look at. Like I never looked at like the kitchen sink. Like when I started, I would have looked at this sink and oh yeah, that's great, that's fine. But now, after showing some of them, I know that, that's something people do care a lot about because that's where they're going to be cooking dinner and etc. And now, I think that one of the best value adds in a mobile home is just a $50 stainless steel sink from Lowe's.
Right on.
That and a toilet. Like, that's pretty much toilets. We put a new toilet in basically every home. Like unless the toilet's like perfect, I'll always put a new one in because it's $88 and people like new toilets, right?
Beautiful. Toilet, sink, baseboard.
I'd say maybe like 40% of homes will put a new sink in, but toilets probably 80-90%.
So Jack was just mentioning something that that is actually really applicable. And what do you normally sell?
We usually sell it with the equivalent lately of like a 10% down payment.
10% down.
Like the last one was $20,210, and then we sold it for 10% down.
Okay.
But it all depends because we've sold a lot of other ones for like $5,000 or $6,000 down, but they want a really good deal out of it. So you maybe only get 3 years of payments, but you're into it for next to nothing. So you've already broken even just from the down payment, or you break even, in like 6 months. But then but you get less cash flow. And then I'd say, in the middle might be that kind of classic, break even in a year and then have, another 4 years of cash flow. And I'd say that would be the ideal. Like that's what I would like to do. On the last couple we've done, it's been more like break even in 18 months, but get 8 years of cash flow. So we're making more overall. It's because I have my spreadsheet of the financials on every deal and how much profit we made, how much we were into it for, what the down payment was, and what we were into net after the down payment, how much per month, how many months, everything, the total. So, I guess I'm willing to sacrifice like the return the first year a little bit if it allows for way more money in the long term. So, like on the last one, we were into it for $10,000, and we only sold it for $2,000 down. So it's definitely not a great deal. I mean, it'd take 2 years to break even. It's probably my worst deal in that regard. But the difference between the $8,000 we're into it net and the $29,000 we're going to get over 8 years is, it's still a significant sum of money. So that's not my goal, but I'm still decently happy with that one.
Excellent. So everyone's a little bit different, and right now I'm kind of curious what percentage of your deals are you getting back in 12 months? You're recouping all your investment in 12 months or less.
I'd say our average of all the deals is probably 13 months.
Okay.
So
that's really good.
But it all, and I think when I first got into this, and I'd see your website and the financials like that, I'd think, oh, that's like obscene profit, yada yada yada, and I could very easily see people on the outside, looking at what we do and just thinking, oh, that's crazy, they're making so much money. But I think if you look at it from all angles and you see the risk involved, you see the immense amount of work involved. Because if somebody else, if somebody just wanted to like own a mobile home investing business, they and just kind of own that business passively, they it would be completely different because they'd have to pay someone like me or you to do this. So I mean, it's not the profits aren't as obscene as they seem.
Had to do a wardrobe ad because it is cold up here. I'm definitely not used to this weather. Dude, from the south. This is awesome. We're at Jack's first of many mobile homes on land.
You want to look inside?
Heck yeah! Let's go inside. I like the commode on the outside here.
Yes.
Like you said, you got to put new toilets in.
Yes, we just added flooring to the kitchen.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see. I've seen this in
pictures,
but in videos, but to see this in person. Oh, this is great. Can we walk on this?
I think so, yeah. Should be able to.
This is wonderful. Oh, this looks great. Can you mind if I put some before pictures?
No, that'd be great.
And then, please tell us what's going on. Are these cabinets new?
No, so those were already there. So when we bought it, there had been a leak and there was massive water damage in the living room. And I myself demoed some of it. So I did that work, and then I paid some guys to demo the bottom cabinets. We were hoping to salvage them, but we got rid of them now, but they ended up not being salvageable. And did a bunch of stuff. The home has a slight... This add-on a lot of work was done to the home like 10 years ago by a former owner of it that was really done poorly. A lot of the windows aren't quite level. And this add-on, I believe, kind of was pulling this home down and to the right. So this area was really unlevel. It kind of went down. That area still is down there, but we jacked up one of the cantilevers here, so we got the living room pretty level now.
So you went underneath the home?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. All of this was a new subfloor, so we had a little hatch that went under the home there. So we jacked up the middle. We've used this cement to kind of even out this add-on, and we used some extra OSB board down there.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do
Good
the same
fix.
thing in that bedroom down there.
And then cover this up with...
Yeah, so all of this will be carpet. So we have the Allure flooring, vinyl flooring in the kitchen and the 2 bathrooms. And then this part of the living room, the entryway, and the 3 bedrooms will have beige carpet.
And then the water heater, that's interesting that it's in the kitchen.
Yeah, I've almost never seen that before.
Right.
But,
cool.
and then one other issue with it, so the ceiling sags down about 3 inches. Like if you look at from the side there, like compared to here.
Oh,
it
yeah,
sags down.
yeah.
So that was the decision we had to make. We actually ripped out a piece of the ceiling here to try to see what it looked like up there, and it was totally dry. I think it was from when the leak happened. There was so much moisture in the air, and there used to be fans here, and the fan blades like bent downward because of all the moisture. So I think that's what happened to the ceiling. So we chose not to replace it.
No active leaks, nothing like
Not
that.
that
Even
we've
when you
seen,
bought it.
Nope. So this is the
Ooh,
backyard.
nice
it
door.
Looks pretty. You think so? A lot of people think it's kind of nasty, but I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. I mean, you got that's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Optional that.
Yeah,
no,
I think it's great.
Yes. What do they look? Maybe because the color looks a little dingy, but no, barely.
Yeah. So this is the backyard. We're gonna mow it on Monday when
Cool.
this one guy brings out all the cabinets and carpet and countertops. And,
How much land is
it's
here?
just like a lot or two. I don't know.
So then, so in a couple days, all the kitchen stuff is
Yes,
coming.
on Monday we got about $2,500 worth of material. There's like 3 things that you always see. The first one's giant televisions, and not flat screens, like giant,
Yes,
deep
the
ones.
1990s ones.
Yes, and you have to get like something to get them out of the home with. So yeah, always see those. The furnace vents are always filled with trash. That's
Yes.
the second common denominator. And the third one, and I'm guessing this is only recently, but they all have Ilsa wall stickers from Frozen. They've had gigantic Ilsa stickers.
I've had some of those. Yeah, in the park. That's hilarious.
I know, I need to get like lists of people who bought those and send them yellow letters.
I
Or
still
like
not.
Facebook ads to those people. And then this window I'm going to replace. Or this pane of glass, I should say. It's some kind of rare thing that happens to windows.
Really?
Apparently, that's what I've been told.
Wow.
Like
Like a
some
window
kind of-
disease?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, I mean, not cool, but actually,
It is kind of cool, yeah. I mean, it'll be expensive, but it's kind of cool to... I've never seen it before.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and then all of this is new. So all the fascia and soffit was completely rotted out.
gosh,
There was
yes.
like a colony of birds living in it.
So all the way
bees.
around here,
Yes, that's all brand new,
Right.
everything.
that piece up
And
here,
and the trim underneath it,
this
too.
looks great.
All new. That same goofy former owner from about 10 years ago that messed up all the windows, he put this, I think he put the siding on, but he put this weird skirting, wood skirting, and the skirting goes up to right here.
That's right. I remember you
Yeah,
saying
so
that.
all of the T111 goes over the skirting, so it bows outward.
Is it like this all around the home?
In quite a few spots. So you can see, like with the these trim pieces we put up, they aren't flush with the home because the siding bends.
You can see that.
Yeah, this is a really nice little thing. This is great for like some mom who has a couple little kids. They'll love that. My wife would kill for that. Yeah, that was the entrance. See, not a lot of room under there.
Not a lot of room. But that thick siding, I bet that really insulates it during the winter.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. That's a good point. You mean the skirting?
Oh, skirting, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Oh, that fascia looks nice.
Yeah.
Heading back to the car right now, and wanted to touch on just a few things. Number one, you might not have saw any signage there. Sorry if it's tough to hear, we're driving. But any signage in the yard. I kind of wanted just to bring that up because whenever you own a property, in a mobile home park, you may or may not be able to hang signs. You can hang it in the window usually. You know, we buy mobile home signs, or this home recently purchased by so and so, or something, to attract more people that need to sell that are in that area of who you are. But mostly, what I want to talk about, me and Jack were just talking about this. Winter's coming. I'm cold right now, and winter's coming. Usually, things get a little bit slower. People still buy and sell, and I've done another video on this that you can watch, but people, still buy and sell during the winter times. But if you don't have to move, unless you're forced to, or unless you move to this area, it slows down. I mean, there's no way around that. It definitely slows down. So, some real world experience in cold climates where it snows. Yeah, what did you see last year? And granted, last year was a little bit newer.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you doing for... Yeah, were there as many homes on the market? What about the buyers when you were trying to resell?
Yeah, I think it definitely slowed down in the winter for sure. Like I was saying, I'm not sure how much of that to attribute to the fact that I was still pretty green at all of this last winter. So it'll be interesting this winter to see. I mean, I think it's just, there's a lot fewer people buying homes in the winter, obviously. I think there were just as many deals to be had, but I just had to factor in a lot more holding costs and lot rent and everything like that. And I think a lot of the people who were buying homes felt more confident in taking their time, whereas in the summer I feel like people are very motivated to move. I think this time of year right now, we're doing this video in the beginning of October, and I think October is actually a great month for selling homes because there's a lot of people that know they have to move and they're really dreading the idea of doing it once winter starts. So I'm about to have 3 homes for sale this month all at once, which I think will be perfect. I think there'll be a lot of very motivated buyers, which is exactly what I like. I really like when there's like a buying frenzy, and I'll probably price my homes a little bit cheaper this winter as well, just to try to get a little more excitement for them rather than holding off for like a really perfect buy, so to speak.
Okay. So then the moral would be there's still deals to be had, but it's just purchase them consciously, knowing that you could hold on to them for another 2-3 months simply because there's less people walking through.
Yes. When I was a mental health worker one time, I was we worked with Medicaid clients.
Yeah, what was
and a mouse ran at my arm. It was in a mobile home, really, poor community, and the mouse ran at my arm, and I fell backwards, and I landed my face in multiple fly strips.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Did it come off easy, or was it like a terrible?
You
still got some
pretty
scars.
terrible, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it was fine.
Did
so that's not a real estate story, but it is a mobile home story.